back to Hajime Inside USA Judo. I'm your host, Hannah Martin, and today I'm happy to welcome Johan Silot to the show. He is the number one ranked athlete in the 81 kilo category and recently won a medal at the Grand Prix in Lima a few months back. So, yeah, thanks for joining me. How are you today?
So first, I'm very happy to join you here. I'm excited to talk to you and stuff. But I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Just, living, living life. But yeah, I want to talk, get to learn a little bit more about you. Because you had a great year. 2025 was really, really good to you. And yeah, I just wanted to, get to know you a little bit and have the USA Judo community learn about who you are and what is next for you. So first tell me, like, how did judo, your first steps in judo, like where did it all begin? When did you start judo?
Oof, great story. I love telling people his story. It's just like he's like a big part of my life actually. But so I'm pretty sure not everybody knows, but a large amount of people know that I'm from Cuba.
Hmm.
I was born in Cuba. Then 2021 during COVID, I moved over here to USA. And then at first I didn't have my citizenship, so I couldn't
Hmm.
fight at nationals and stuff. But I was doing local tournaments. I went to US Open, like my first year here and stuff. So at first everything started in Cuba. I was 6 years old. They have
Hmm.
this one system for schools that once you join that school, you have to choose a sport.
Hmm.
And Cuba is big on baseball, boxing, all the sports. So I saw a list and I was like, baseball, everybody's gonna do that. Probably boxing, a couple of people are gonna join. And then in the end, I was like, judo, what is that? So I went and that's it. Fall in love with it. I was like, whoa, this is so interesting. People with belts and these uniforms, and it was just super interesting to me. I was like, wow, it's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and you get to throw people. Like I think when you're like 6 years old and you go to the dojo for the first time, you're like, I can like fight someone and throw someone to the ground. I don't know, like your like little brain is like, this is so cool. And I get to wear like a belt. I don't know, like I also have the same feeling.
Literally, I was so thrown back. I was like, wow, this is nice. So I keep coming and keep coming. I was like, okay, then that's all.
And when did you move to the USA? I don't know if you mentioned that before, but how
I,
old were you when you moved here?
so it's there's a whole long story, but I got here when I first stepped into America. I was 17.
Hmm.
So I'm 4 days after I turned 18, and then that's what I was. I was 18 years old, basically,
Okay,
like
wow.
5 years ago.
Yeah, yeah, because you are, you're pretty young. You're 22 years old. So,
Yep, yeah, I'm
yeah.
22.
Yeah. So wow. Okay. So, and did you always live in, so you are based in Bo not Boston, Wakefield, Massachusetts?
I
Train.
actually, that's where Pedro's Euro Center
Yeah,
is in
yeah.
Wakefield, but
Yeah.
I actually, my parents, I moved here
Hmm.
for my dad and my family over here. So my parents actually live 15 minutes from Wakefield, which was so
Okay.
coincidental, it was crazy. So I moved to Salem. I live in Salem, Massachusetts.
Oh wow. So your family was like already they just moved here and it was
Yeah,
nothing.
it,
Just
it
happened
just
to be.
happens to be that they live 15 minutes from Pedro's. It's
How
crazy.
cool is that for you? You know, like it's really crazy and so easy. So like you already were doing judo before. Did you take any breaks from judo? Like, or were you always doing judo? Or did you restart judo? Like what happened from, 6 years old to 17 years old when you were in Cuba? So were you like in the
So
Cuban team? Like what was your, you know, kind of step by step to where you are now, you know?
that was I mean everybody knows the Cuban thing is pretty strong. It's a
Yeah.
little pretty strong people and it's a strong team. Now
Mhm.
lately not that strong, but probably back on the days it used to be very strong. But well, so I was in the grade right below the national Cuban team, right?
Mhm.
So me going like my whole path getting into A was like rough. At first, I was like no winning a whole bunch of tournaments, and I was like no doing so well. But like something was always telling me just keep doing what you're doing. It's fine. You're gonna be doing great eventually. I just keep training and stuff. So like a couple of years after that, I won like nationals.
Hmm.
Like it was like what are these nationals that they do over there when you
Cuban
like
nationals. So you
yeah,
won the
when you
Cuban
like
nationals.
10
Okay.
years or whatever, 11 years old, I won nationals.
Yeah.
And everybody was like so shocked. Wow. And then they called me, they were like, oh, we want you to join this school. It's like high performance for like athletes and stuff. I was like, oh, okay. I joined the school. And then I actually got hurt because like I fought 48. I won nationals in 48 kilos. And
Okay.
then they wanted me to fight 45 as a,
Ooh.
like a cadet. So I was like, I never cut weight in my life, but I would do it. So
Yeah.
I started cutting weight, and then I was like, getting hurt here, there, my knees, like my ankles here, wrist out, and so a whole bunch of injuries. 2 years, I was like kind of like just training, but not for a real reason. I was just getting hurt all the time. Then
Yeah.
I moved up to 66 for a long time. Like 2 years, I was in 66. Then finally, I turned 17 and I moved to 81 after
Okay.
nationals. I didn't won those nationals. I lost like fighting for bronze, I believe.
Hmm.
And then I moved to 81. I made the decision. I'm just gonna move to 81 because I was already cutting from like 73, 74. So I was like, okay, I just gonna be 81. So I moved to 81. And I actually, before COVID hit in Cuba, I was doing pretty well. I was like going and hanging with the Cuban, like the number one guy in the national team. I was like, in all these senior tournaments, I was like doing well. And my coaches were like, what happened? Like, how are you so like good in 81 now? Like, what didn't these? I was like, I don't know. I think it just clicked. Something happened.
Yeah, sometimes it's just like kind like this kind of happened to me because I also like was in a lower weight category and then I moved up to the heavier one and it was like the best decision I ever made. I don't know, I got stronger. I could focus more on like getting better at judo instead of like losing weight all the time because sometimes when you're like cutting weight, you're just focusing on cutting weight and you're not focusing on like technique and getting
Learning
stronger and learning because when you're young athlete, you need to learn, like that's the
100%.
most important thing. So I think it was like the best, obviously the best decision for you because we can move on to, your, I guess we'll say like your breakthrough moment, which was like last year in Lima at the Grand Prix where you took a silver medal. So, um, I would say for your career to date, this is probably your biggest medal because it's, your first IGF World Tour medal.
100%. Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah, so take us back to Lima. What was the day like for you?
Wow. So far, that's like is the biggest like thing that I ever like dreamed of because like as a kid we always back in Cuba like me and my friends we would always like be like watching videos and watching like oh no and like all these people fighting at Grand Prix and stuff and I was telling like my parents and I was telling like my friends wow this is huge bro I'm gonna fight on my first Grand Prix this is insane like these are things that you watch on like your phone and like things like that videos it's like a pretty big deal, you know. It's
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
things are getting serious in here. So me going there, it was actually insane because I had already fought in like a couple big tournaments, like big tournaments, and I
You were
was
at the
like,
World Championships. That's where I first met you. You were in
yeah,
Budapest.
we're
Yeah.
there. I
Yeah.
also fought like a university games, like
Hmm.
war university. So I was like, okay, this is like I'm not a big tournament, but like my mentality was already like, it's fine. You already been there.
Hmm.
So as like rare as it sounds, the day went by and I already left it. Like it already happened in my head.
Hmm.
Like yeah, Johan, you already won. Okay, it's fine. Like I was already there. I was watching. I watched. I went early there, so I watched all the juniors fighting because like my friend Lenny
Hmm.
Chinefield, he was
Hmm.
like fighting there. So I went, and then I was already like the day already passed before I even went into the competition day.
Hmm.
It was like unbelievable. I don't know. It just happened. In
Yeah.
my head already happened. I was like, oh, you already won, Johan.
And you actually like, you showed and displayed like some really good judo. Like, you were actually made like with the top ippons, like in on Judo Gallery, they had you with your nice ashiwaza. And yeah, you
Pretty
had,
cool.
yeah, it was amazing. I was also watching from Austria what was going on, posting as it was going on, and I was like, oh my God, he's gonna win today. Like I was
No, I was
thinking
like,
this in my head.
it was already happening. Like I'm telling you, it didn't feel like, oh, I'm nervous or like I'm actually winning. You know, when you
Mhm.
like come to realization, like I was already like, for example, you see my reaction every match that I win, like I keep winning. He's like, okay, like it's fine. Like this already happened. I couldn't believe it. After me
Mhm.
watching back, I was like, whoa,
So when you say it
Johan,
already
that was
happened,
crazy.
so is this about, are you talking about, like maybe like mentally like visualizing what was gonna happen? So,
Yes,
so you
like
worked a lot on
mentally,
mental preparation before this event, you would say. Or maybe it
I would
helped
say
because you were already there. You were in Lima for the Junior World Championships. You saw your teammates fight. So you were really comfortable in the arena as well. So maybe this also was very helpful for you.
that for sure was like very like helpful, like I would say. But
Yeah.
I think like here at Peters Youth Center, they're like big in visualization and like
Hmm.
thinking that you're the best and like always telling yourself you can do anything and like always. So that just clicked at the like when I went to university games
Hmm.
and I fought for bronze against like Lee,
Hmm.
the, the
Hmm.
the Korean guy. So I was like, wow, like in my head, I actually beat that guy. I was like, okay, so it actually can happen. Like you can actually think on something and it can happen. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, you know what? Next tournament Grand Prix is fine. It already happened. I used to think so much about it, like so
Mm.
much, dream about it. I was like, you already won. I would wake up like sometimes I was like, okay, like my medal is resting over there. So it's so nice. It was like insane. So the day of competition, it actually did not feel like real. It just
Hmm.
happened. It felt like fake. It was a one more another dream.
Yeah, yeah. So it was like you already felt like this happened. So it was just you were just going through it. And you looked
Yeah,
really comfortable, you looked like really comfortable on the mat, like you were just yeah, doing judo and like enjoying yourself, and this is the most important thing. You
I
reached
loved it.
and you reached the final, so you didn't win. You're taking the silver, which is still like great. So, how does it feel to take a silver instead of, the gold? So talk about your final a little bit.
So walking into the final, I was
It's
like,
bittersweet,
wow.
right? Silver is always like this.
It is very sweet. Like I was like, wow. I definitely did not dream of getting a silver. I was saying, like getting a silver is like sometimes people would say it's not like how it really happens, but people would say, "Oh, I'm better off taking bronze because I actually won my last match of
Yeah.
the day."
Yeah.
But being on the final is a complete like different
Hmm.
feeling. Once you reach that final, all the like lights are on you, everybody's watching, waiting for like that moment.
Hmm.
So walking into like that match, I was like, wow, he's really having. Come on, Johan, you got this. I was like,
Yeah.
just one more fight, and that's it. Everything goes down.
Yeah.
So I was pretty like confident that I was like gonna win and I'll do good and like bring it home and stuff. But I mean, things happen. The other guy was like also well prepared. He was doing good. He's like a junior, I believe. He took bronze right there, like the week
Oh,
before
okay.
too.
Yeah. And the Junior World
So
Championships. Yeah.
yeah, so he was like, doing well. That guy had like a pretty like good run too. He beat like a couple good guys.
Hmm.
So I was like, okay. I mean, he's not like settling, but he's part of the process.
Hmm.
One thing that I keep reminding myself nowadays is like you like focus now on just learning and doing the right things. W's will come after, right? So
Hmm.
like winning will come after. So the least that you focus on winning, the more you're gonna win, if that makes sense.
Yeah, when you're really focused, it's like you focus on the process, not the result. That's what you're saying.
Yes,
Yeah, and this is
yes.
I also agree with you. I think, it's always good to have a performance. It's good to, it's good for yourself to know, okay, I had a really good performance. I'm doing the right thing, but it's not smart to focus on the results because if you always focus on the results usually don't come, as easily. Some of them might come, some results, but like you won't enjoy also the process of getting there because that's also really important when you're on this, on the IGF World Tour, you're competing at a high level. If you're not enjoying the process, it's like
Yeah,
brutal,
there's
especially in
ups and
here.
downs,
Yeah.
and everybody goes through them, and you know it's like that 1% of people that like ends up breaking through is like the
Hmm.
people that really enjoy what they were doing and like their whole journey and who was there with you and not really focusing on winning or losing, you know, because
Yeah.
like people that really focus on winning all the time, those people in the end they can't get through. They like end up like quitting or like it's
Yeah.
just too hard or things like that.
And you're just like completely stressed out usually when you're not
Yes.
getting the results. Talking about, breaking into, so now like you are ranked inside the top 30 on the IGF World Ranking List. So I believe you are number 29. So, what does reaching top 30, mean to you personally? Because, breaking into you reach top, before you were whatever ranked, now you're in the top 30. Now, what's the next goal? So first talk to me about like, what does this mean to you to be like so highly ranked now on the IGF World Tour? IGF World Ranking List, sorry.
Nah, it is like a pretty big deal actually. It's like it means like a lot to me just to like be there and
Hmm.
be considered like top 30 in the world. It's like every time I go top 30, this whoa, it's huge, such a
Hmm.
big deal. Like it is I don't see it sometimes. I was like, oh, such a big deal. Like I wish I was like top five, like number
Hmm.
one in the world. But it is like a big thing when you say, oh, I'm no top 30 in the world. Is
Yeah.
something huge. Not everybody's there. So it's definitely a big deal. To me, it means that I'm like on the right path.
Yeah.
I'm not there where I want to be yet, but I'm on the right path to get to
Yeah.
where I want to be. So
Exactly.
it's definitely like a big deal. And like, it means like, okay, keep doing what you're doing is working.
Hmm. And if you just think, I look at your results, you didn't have that many results before, and now all the results are coming. So it's to be, top 30 already, at 22 years old, it is an accomplishment. So you should be happy, proud of it, but don't settle, like you're saying. So like,
Yes,
yeah,
100%. Like people
yeah,
would be like, nah, like he's like saying, I'm not settling. It
yeah,
means like a lot though, but like it just means that I'm in the right path. I'm not where I want to be 100%.
yeah,
Top 30 is like, you know,
yeah.
it's
No,
great.
it's
It's
good.
good. It's but like it's not like perfect. It's not like the best thing ever, you
Yeah,
know?
there's not like a lot of, Americans or a lot of judoka in general that can say they've reached that, So it's also like an accomplishment if you look at it like this. But you know what you can do personally, so you know you can do better and be better. So that's obviously
100%.
the goal. So let's talk about like your daily training. So what does like a typical training week look like for you?
Oof. Now we're going through like some changes. Like we're gonna like change a couple of stuff here and there.
Mhm.
But normal training, it would be we got let's start with Sunday. We like have practice on Sundays with Travis Stevens. We got
Mhm.
practice at five until 7. It's like 2 hours of randori. Sometimes it's like an hour of drilling and like an hour of randori. Then we go into Monday. Monday we have 5:30
Mhm.
workout with Scotty. He's like our strength and conditioning coach. So we go
Mhm.
to the gym at 5:30. Then
5:30 in the morning?
yeah, 5:30 in the morning.
Wow.
So
Okay.
you just go to the gym at that time. Then after, at some point during the day, it's on you to like do your conditioning or like your daily run. So at
Mhm.
some point during the day you run, and then later, I like I think it's 8. Sometimes it changes to like 7. It's like judo. You do
Mhm.
like actual like judo, like throws. It's like more like technical like throws and work on stuff, grip breakings and like things like that. Things that aren't working.
And this is,
Um,
we're still in the morning, right? 8 in the morning, or we're in the night, in the
no,
evening?
no, no. We already like on the night. We pass
Okay,
like the
okay, okay. Just
morning
wanted to get the
workout, then
time.
you do your run somewhere in the day.
Yeah.
Then like 7 or 8 at night, you're like doing that judo section with like
Okay,
Travis there
okay.
telling you. And then we got like Tuesday. On Tuesday, you got like a workout in the like midday around like 3 or like 2 sometimes, depends on like some kids are in school.
Hmm.
So like you cannot like left school to just go work out, but we
Yeah.
like kind of like a manage around and make it like a little convenient for everybody. And then after at 7 p.m. we got like judo with Big Jim.
Hmm.
Jimmy's dad and Jimmy. And
Hmm.
then same thing happens on Wednesday, 5:30 workout wrong. And then we have Thursday, same thing, Jimmy and stuff. And then Friday we have the same thing, 5:30 in the morning, workout, and then judo at 5 with Travis. And then Saturday is like rest day.
So Saturday's your rest day, and then
Yes.
Sunday is back to it all. It starts all over again.
Back to 5 with Travis.
And how
Yep.
is it like, do you know, because Travis was 81 kilos, he's was silver medal at the Olympics 2016. So what is it like to, you know, you're in the same weight category and now, you know, he's like coaching you, mentoring you. What is it like to have someone, you know, of his caliber, yeah, coaching you and guiding you in your career?
Interesting question. I love this question. I get this question like a lot. A lot of people ask me, what is it like? Like, you know, it's
Mhm.
like it means a lot to me to have him as a coach and not just as a coach. Sometimes we like sit down, have like conversations, and he's like, it's cool. It's cool
Mhm.
just to like get to know him in a different level, not just as like coach, right?
Mhm.
So, but it means a lot to me just to have him like as my coach. A lot
Yeah.
of people would know like him because he's like a guy who's like serious and like always. He's not like the most friendly guy or whatever, but like he's good. It means a lot to me, and he's like the learning from a guy that he was in my position a couple years ago is it means like a lot. So like it just tells me that oh, it's possible. He did it. Why can't you? You know.
Hmm.
So and I just listen to like a lot of the things that he says and a lot of the things that he used to do because like I mean clearly worked for him.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so I mean, he was yeah, one of the best during his time, obviously. So yeah, he has a lot of insight, I think, as well, you know, mentally, you know, as well, like how to prepare for like the big events and a lot of insight to techniques like especially like Newaza, I will say. So maybe he's teaching you some you know some tricks. Some
he does, he
I
does,
see you
he
do
does.
some Newa a lot of Newaza actually in a lot of your fights. So I think you're learning this with you know also with Jimmy Pedro because also he's big on Newaza. But I see a lot of the techniques I also learned from them as well going there and training. You know, it's like
100%.
you really like the split the leg technique. You're
Yeah,
really
that's
good at
like actually my
it.
like my move. That's like they very big on that moving here. So
Yeah.
I don't really need to like have all the techniques that they do. They
Hmm.
were like masters. I like no, I just
Yeah.
need 1 or 2 moves that really work for me, and that's it. That's
But
one of the moves that
and this
really
one
like
is really working for you. Like I think I've seen you win like a few like maybe I'm gonna say maybe 5 times already with this.
one hundred percent.
Like
Yeah, yeah. It,
like
it is. It is. It is like a good. I just wait at that point. I'm like waiting. I'm like, please, just do this. Come on, hurry up. I need it.
but it's really it's a really strong technique and it's like 'cause I was pretty I also like doing this move and I used to do it a lot. And like once you're in there getting like pinned, I always feel like the guys or the girl they get like they're like so angry because they're like I can't believe I got pinned by this, you know?
I don't
I
know if
always
you
feel
have.
like this.
You're definitely have watched that video of Travis doing it to the Russian, and the
Hmm.
Russian is yelling. Travis pin him with split the legs, and then the Russian is like yelling. Wow, whether he's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
so
because you're
angry.
just like, what? How is this po you know, I think they're thinking like, how is this? How am I getting pinned right now? Like I went to do like a, they always, you know, it's always like a kind of like a sacrifice
Sue me.
technique, sumis,
Yeah,
right? And you're
it's
just waiting,
unusual.
ready. Yeah, and you're just ready. And then they're like, you know, they're like, they feel like this, you know, they're like, they
Yep,
get so defeated from this, and you're sitting there and you're
yep.
like, yes. Thank you. But I'm going to ask you, how do you balance, all of this? Are you just fully 100% training? Do you go to school as well? So what are you doing? Your judo training, your strength and conditioning, you're doing recovery, mental preparation. How are you balancing it all? It is a lot, being a full-time athlete. And I don't know, maybe are you studying at the moment too?
So last year when I went to university games, you need to be full
Yeah,
time
yeah,
to
of
like go
course.
to university games. So I
Yeah.
was in a school, but this year I'm not doing a school.
Hmm.
I'm taking like I'm a junior, so I'm taking like this year off just so I can like travel and like do more tournaments and like fully
Yeah.
get to like be out there exposed. Whatever training camp I go there, whatever tournament is
Yeah.
available to go, we go, things like that. So you gotta be full time. It was just becoming also too much. I would go to like any tournament I would go, I would always have to bring my computer and like do my
And
homework, wake
study.
up at like
Yeah.
sometimes 2 in the morning because
Yeah.
this is like a huge part that like I don't think a lot of people know and a lot of people don't mention. Judo is not in college. Judo is like judo. Okay, what is that? Some colleges, like for example, San Jose, they definitely know what judo is, and they for sure they
Hmm.
like, oh, you going on a judo tournament. Like when you come back, we will figure it out, like professors and stuff.
Yeah.
In my college, when I go to school, they don't understand. So I
Yeah.
got this from one of my professors one time. I come back and I was like, oh, I think that I submitted my assignment later. Like I'm not asking you to don't don't take like my assignment or like say, oh nah, okay, you excuse, don't do the assignment. It's fine. You were
Mhm.
doing your judo tournament. I'm not saying that. I did my assignment. They were like, nah, if it's late, I'm not gonna grade it. You got a zero. Whether you choose to go into a judo tournament instead of being in class and submit your assignment. Whether I was like, I was on a plane, like I don't know, but it's part
Yeah.
of it. So
Yeah.
it just it became too much to just focusing on judo and
Yeah.
being cutting weight. I'm doing training. I'm doing here. I'm also doing school, going to bed too late, doing homework. It just
Yeah.
became like a whole bunch.
It's a
Balancing
lot.
everything
Yeah.
together, like now that I'm not doing school,
Hmm.
everything else it just comes into like a place. Everything else is just like so nice. I had like the whole day working out, whatever time, 5 in the morning. Okay, I'm there. Doesn't
Hmm.
matter. Easy. Like I don't have school after. I can go for a stop after. So everything else
Yeah.
just come into like a place. It's not like it's good. It's like a
Yeah.
full time judo athlete. So that's what I'm doing now.
Yeah, so you can put 100% focus on it. It is definitely hard to be a student, especially if you're going full-time students plus full-time athletes. And if with the world tour, the senior world tour, you have to travel. You have to go to the training camps. And when you're at training camps or even competitions, like you don't want to think about
School,
school. You want to
like
rest,
homework.
know?
I had to read so many pages of
Yeah.
whatever book, and I'm like,
You're like
okay,
reading a page and you're like, I'm so tired. You can't even focus. So it is like it's really difficult. I
it's
was
tough. It's
studying at
tough.
the same time as well. I think it took me a little longer to get my bachelor's degree because I would be like, I'm studying. I would stop, and then studying, stop, and then yeah, it's really difficult. But the ones that can do it, like I really give them
No,
a
respect
lot of
for sure.
respect. Yeah, for sure. So looking ahead is 2026 already. So it's a new season. You're starting your season off. What you told me earlier, I'm gonna just mention you're starting your season off in Sofia, Bulgaria. So it's a European Open at the end of January.
Yep.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about like, your maybe your plans for the first 6 months of competitions and if you have any, specific goals for yourself for 2026.
So we're gonna start off with tournaments. I'm gonna be going to Sofia, Bulgaria. Then from there, we're gonna be going to Belgian training camp.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna be there for like a couple of days. Then after that, we actually gonna go to Paris training camp. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
gonna be fighting, but I'm gonna attend to the training camp. Then from there, I'm gonna come back to Slovenia
Mm-hmm.
for the Oil Open.
European Open
Then
in
from there, we're
Slovenia.
gonna see. I think I'm fighting in Austria.
So in Linz. So
Grand
this is
Prix
actually where
Abras.
I live. I live in
Yep,
Linz.
yep. I'm gonna be going there. And
Okay.
after that, there's like a couple more. I think probably Georgia.
Okay. That's like at the end of March. So Linz is the beginning of March. And then in a
Uh-huh.
couple weeks you'll have then there's like I actually know the calendar very well, so I can even tell you. Then there's like there's the Nürnberg, there's a training camp in Czech Republic. Maybe you will go there too. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure
Yeah.
about probably
And
that's
then there's
in there too.
Georgia, like right after Tbilisi Grand Slam is like right after in March. And then
Uh-huh.
I'll let you tell it what's next after
And
this.
we got like to be part of like NIAC as of right now, you have to it's mandatory to go to nationals. So you have to
Hmm.
go to nationals because if not, I would be attending to Dushanbe, I think, is a Grand Slam.
Dushanbe. But before Dushanbe, you will fight in, I will say you probably will qualify for the Pan American
Pan Ams?
Championships. Yes.
Yes, yes, that
In
too. Pan
April.
Ams,
Yeah. Yeah.
April, yeah, April. Those. So it's like a whole bunch of tournaments right now. Right now, just focusing on like the first 3 months,
Yeah,
how to
get
get
through
through those.
like the, January, end of January in the training camps in Europe, because they're
Yep,
always tough.
it's
And
early,
then
yeah.
yeah. And then yeah, you as a New York Athletic Club athletes, you have to fight at the nationals. So you'll
Nationals,
be
yeah.
at the national
But
championships too. So
and then goals. You asked me for goals for 2026.
yeah.
I would say top of my list. There's a couple more, but top of my list for sure, top like three is definitely like I want to be top 10 in the world.
Hmm.
I want to have a Grand Slam medal, and I just want to keep learning and improving my judo as a whole, like in general.
Hmm.
So those are like my top three like goals for 2026.
And of course I'm gonna ask the question, LA 2028. This
LA
is
2028
this is in everyone's head, right? In back of everyone's head. So
for sure,
what
and
are
it's
your
right there on
current,
the corner.
what are your current thoughts about this? How are you approaching this like mentally when you think about, the qualification or qualifying or competing in LA? What is your mindset like thinking about this?
It is a big deal. I mean, if you think about it, you've been training your whole life for like as a kid, I was like 9, 10 years old when it actually just clicked in my head, and I was like, I went to the National Training Center in Cuba, and I saw like all these Olympic champions, like
Hmm.
Julie Gonzalez. I saw Idalis Ortiz, all these people, and like Asley Gonzalez, and I was like, whoa, all these people are like so good, like so like famous and stuff. I was like, I want to be like them. I want to be one day at the Olympics and like do well and like win the Olympics, all this stuff. I was like, I knew exactly where I was,
Yeah.
and I was not on their feet. So I was like, I want to be there for sure. So it's like a huge thing for me to go to Olympics and like do well. Now, even bigger being part of representing USA and the Olympics having in LA is such a like way more pressure, and it's like insane. It feels like just thinking about it is such a big deal.
Hmm.
It is for sure. So me going through it, I'm thinking every day, like every practice, every second that I got time to practice, every time I'm not awake and I'm not working on like, come on, somebody's doing it. LA
Yeah.
is right there in the corner. You better get up. I'm like you. He's like a definitely like a huge motivation. Not in the back of my head, but like it's right there. No, no, it's not far. Like I'm always thinking about it. Everything that I do is always like with intent. I'm like thinking like there, it's right there. If you really wanna, you have to go and get it. Nobody's gonna do it for you.
Exactly. Yeah. No, it's on you really. It's an individual sport. No one's gonna, you always have like your team, but there's no team that is gonna like, be like help you, win a Grand Prix. It's you. You have to win the
No,
Grand
one
Slam
hundred
or Grand
percent. You
you
cannot
know?
really like
So you need to be the one to
you
push
can have you
yourself and yeah. Yeah.
you're definitely have to have a team and like have to have that support, people that like are there with you. The
Yeah.
path and the journey by yourself it is, you can't do it by yourself. Doesn't happen. You know, you have to have that like support from your family, that support from your coaches, and like you have to have people around, training partners, like people that like are what are pushing you to do those limits and things like
For
that.
sure. Yeah.
But when you step in there, is by yourself for sure.
Um, so before, we end this interview, I wanted to ask a little bit about, what advice would you give, the young athletes who are dreaming of an international judo career? So, you were a junior not so long ago, right? So now you transitioned into, senior athletes, and now you know what it's like to transition from juniors to seniors. So, what advice would you give to, juniors or cadets that are, looking ahead to try to excel the seniors?
First, one thing that I didn't is huge. I'm like actually huge in that part is that your junior career would not, it definitely it will not define your senior career. You know, you
Mhm.
cannot think that everything that you do in juniors is the same thing is gonna happen as a senior because it's not. It won't. You can be the worst junior ever, the worst cadet ever, and then as a senior be the great athlete.
Mhm.
So don't one thing, don't focus in junior. Oh, I'm not doing great right now. I'm not winning. I'm not like doing how I want to or how I supposed to. You're doing just fine. Keep training, keep doing what you're doing, change, work on the things that you're supposed to be working, adapt.
Mhm.
But one thing is like trust the process. You're young as a junior, as like I said, you like young. So you don't really have that much like of experience like going through everything that you're going, all the emotion like is huge. So don't think and don't look down on yourself going or doing that transition into the senior category because you're doing just fine.
That's nice.
You
That's
know,
really nice advice, actually.
it happens to me. Like I was
Yeah.
like, when I first moved here, I had serious experience.
Hmm.
Serious experience. I was a junior, like fighting internationally. I mean, like of course I knew judo and I can fight, but my first tournament was actually 2022, I believe 2023, something like that. As a junior, I was like, I went to Birmingham. I was like, I took seventh place, and I didn't do that. My junior career, if you check on the IGF, it's not great. Like I didn't do like as well as I was expecting to do,
Hmm.
but that cannot define who I am as a senior. I can definitely change it like totally. Even though greatest people in judo, you check their like background, you go back in history, they're not like as great on junior. Some of them are, but
So,
like
yeah.
that doesn't define that. Oh, everybody had to be good as a junior. He's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, I like that. So you're saying, this advice here is don't define your junior career, don't let it define your senior career. So just trust the
Yes,
process. No,
yes.
I really like that. Because yeah, like also I'm thinking back for myself. Like I was a good junior in the States, but like if I went out into the international world, yeah, maybe seventh or fifth place, like you said, like no really
Yeah,
good results. But my senior career was different, So because I like
100%, 100%.
trained really hard and I like, yeah, trusted the process and like worked really hard because I had a goal. So yeah, if
Yeah,
you,
mentality also changes. Like
yeah.
strength wise, you're stronger. A lot of things you adapt to things better.
Hmm.
Like as a junior, you know you like getting out there. You start in the hot water a little bit.
Yeah, and I think also maybe the hard thing too when you're a junior in the States, you don't get the experience like the other Europeans. There's a European junior European tour and they're always competing like, every 2 weeks in Europe and like we as Americans are competing like maybe just like a few competitions in the summertime. So like our
Yes,
competition experience is like it's like totally
different.
different from the athletes we're competing against. So then like once you become a senior, it becomes a little more even because you start competing more, you get more experience, you have to realize, okay, I have to train really hard to get to this point where all of the my competitors are. So like, and then you go to more
It's
training
tough.
camps.
It's tough.
So
It's
this
like a
is,
tough transition. And
yeah,
like a lot of people actually start like getting nervous and getting anxious about, oh, I didn't do good as a junior. Does that mean as a senior, I'm not gonna be like that? No. I see it like closely. It's just, and I'm like, no, you're fine. Don't do that. It's fine. Like, I mean, if you look at Kayla Harrison, of course, she was like a junior world champ, right? Same
I
thing,
believe so. Yes, I will say
same
yes,
thing
yes,
with
yes.
Jimmy.
Mhm.
Jimmy took bronze, and I think he also won junior worlds. But Travis didn't even go to junior worlds,
That's true.
and Travis was one of the best of like Americans of all times on like all
Yeah,
this huge stuff. And like him, I'm pretty sure there's like a whole bunch of other people. So
yeah. Yeah, like I never even competed at like the junior Pan American Championships. I always like qualified for it, but I always turned it down because I think it was like, expensive, parents had to pay for it, blah blah blah.
yeah,
I never went ever, ever.
a
And
lot of factors into it, right? Like, and if you think about it, this is like another point that I want like juniors and like young people to look at it. When you like become world champion senior or whatever these like your whole career as a senior is happening, nobody really looks back as your junior career. Like
Mhm.
no one really cares. It's in
Yeah.
the past. It happens. It's gone.
That is very true. And that is
No one
exactly
looks at it.
right. No one looks at your cadet results and your junior results. It is amazing during the time. It's like little stepping stone to the big thing with the thing
Yes. Yes.
so so it's not taking away from, the medals you have in the cadet
No,
tour or the
100%.
juniors.
If you got them,
But
you
yeah.
wow, you're good.
But
If
once you
you
reach the
haven't, you're
seniors,
good.
it's like blank slates.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah. Um, Let me ask you, since I have some more time with you, so who are your judo role models? So if you could name a few that you looked up to when you were a kid.
So of
Or
course, as I
now. Maybe you
mentioned,
have some
huh?
now.
Oh no,
Or,
I got definitely got some now, but
okay.
me growing up as when I was like very young and starting judo and stuff, I always looked up for Ashley Gonzalez. He
Hmm.
took silver. He was a world champion and he took silver at the Olympics Rio 2016,
Hmm.
90 kilos from Cuba. Like my style is kind of even a little like him. I do like a sales drops, like sodas and things like
Hmm.
that. Like he's very
He's
food sweets and things like that.
it's very
He was a very
explosive. Yeah.
he
Hmm.
was like very like that. So
Hmm.
I always like looked up to like his judo, and he always like was like wow. I also looked up like not stylistics, but like more like mindset. Julie Gonzalez. She's now in America. She's like a coach here. She
Hmm.
trains like a program down in Florida. But I always looked up like her mindset. I used to show up to practices in the National Training Center. And I used to like do randoris and stuff with like kids. And she would tell me, wow, you're strong, you're strong. I would go back home and I would tell my mom, Mom, she told me I was strong. Like it was great. But currently right now, I definitely look up for Travis is like a big motivation and someone who I really like
Hmm.
look for because like his mindset is different. Like his mindset, the way that he sees the world is completely different than what everybody else, like how everybody else approach things.
Hmm.
So he's one judo wise Hashimoto from Japan.
Hmm.
I really like the way that he just managed judo. Is
So
beautiful. I love
Hashimoto
it.
and 73 kilos, right? Yeah.
Yes, just
So
recently retired.
recently retired. Yeah.
Mhm.
Cool. Wow. So yeah, we're gonna wrap things up soon, but I'm just gonna, get some closing reflections from you. What continues to motivate you on, days when days are tough? What's like your motivating factor? What keeps you going?
Such a good question. I love it. This one, things that motivates me on continue when things are rough and when things are getting tough, you know, is like, why did you start a judo? Like I always tell people, remember your whys. I talk to my friends, I'm like, they always like, nah, bro, I think I'm not like as motivated as I used to be. things aren't working for me. Like, I'm like, do you have like your whys? Do you, I remember in your whys, why did you start judo? Like no one why did you start it, but why you took it like seriously, like why you started to like actually training and putting yourself to through like all these tough and like hard practices and like your parents supporting you, like your gifts. You went
Mhm.
from like video games and like being gifts from like video games and Christmas as like expecting clothes or something like that to like, oh, I'm happy to get in like a new gi. What was like those, remember those whys? So like I always go back and I'm like, when I was like 9 or 10, I was like, oh, my why is like I wanted to be on those people's shoes. I
Mhm.
wanted to be like look up and kids look at me and be like, wow, these guys like is nice to be like I want to be like that person. I want to like, you know,
Mhm.
motivate other people. Like people look at when you look at Olympic champions, I'm like, you're like, wow, what did they do? It's amazing, you
Yeah.
know? So that like it always motivates me like going back to like my whys,
Yeah. So what is
you
your
know?
why? Yeah. So why?
Yes,
So you're like, in the hard days, you're like, why? When you do question, what am I doing? Why am I here? Sometimes, but
yes,
you go like, you know what? I'm here because, and you think of your why.
yes,
I like that.
yes.
I
And
like
I think
that.
of my whys I
Yeah.
started, why I keep pushing, why I'm like all the stuff. What do you like? There's always a why. Why you keep
Yeah.
doing what you're doing? Because
Yeah.
you love it, you're passionate about it.
Yeah.
You're like your family, your friends, like my siblings, like they're like a huge part of my career. I always want to be like, I'm not the oldest of my siblings, but I'm like there. Like I have like an older brother, but
Hmm.
I live with my younger like siblings. So I always like try to be like the best sibling for them. Like I'm like, okay, like I'm motivating them, like always supporting them. And like when they look at me, they like, wow, this
Yeah.
guy, he's always like trying his best. I always like try to like so like those are one of my whys. Like my family is like a huge one.
Hmm.
So definitely look back and think of your whys. Why are you doing this?
That's very nice. I always feel like you're very, I mean, I've only like talked with you a few times, but what I see from you, you seem like a very positive person and very happy. So I always think
I mean,
like I really feel like you just like love what you're doing. And this is like the best this is the best part of life, really. Really like enjoying what you're doing. And that's like the
I try. I
impression I
mean,
get.
every day, like is not. I'm not gonna lie to you because like that would be like a lie. Like no
Yeah.
one every day wakes up and he's like
No,
super
yeah,
excited,
that's
and you always feel like super like. But that's one thing that I do. I always try to like stay positive.
hmm.
Always look at the good and not the bad. Like when I wake up every day, I'm like always thinking on my whys. That's a big thing that I have. Every day I wake up and I'm like, okay, know that they send things, but why is that there? Like, why are you doing this? Why are you waking up? Like, I'm trying to like keep myself focused on what I'm supposed to be doing always. I'm not looking at like the other factors. Oh, I'm getting hurt. This thing hurts. Like my fingers, like whatever things like that. I'm always
Yeah.
like try to be like positive on like keep it together. I'm like always like there's definitely days that I don't want to like do things. Like
I
I'm
mean, that's
human,
normal. You're
but
human and like we all get
yeah,
those
but
days. But
it's up to you. Like
yeah.
your brain is like a big
It's like a big
thing that a lot
muscle.
of
It's
people
a
don't know
muscle,
how to
you have
use.
to train it to also like
Yeah, like also I feel like also in general I am like my personality, like my who I am is like very much of like a Cuban person. Like Cubans as a whole, we like very happy and stuff. And I try to teach my friends here. I always
Mhm.
like try to tell them like, come on, like it's up to you. You just have to put a smile. Once you make somebody else laugh, you're gonna laugh, and then we all happy. It's good. Life
I
is
love it.
good.
Yeah, that's great. No, really, like this is I remember like this like when I used to go to training camps, early training camps, I would be like the only one in the team that's like, "Good morning, everyone," and like super happy, and
Yeah.
everyone's just like, "What is wrong with you?" And I was just like if you just have to like fake it almost sometimes, like yeah, it's 8 o'clock in the morning in Europe, which means it's like 2 a.m. back home, but like we're
Yep.
here and you gotta make the best of it. So this is like how I actually kind of like went through my career most of the time. Of course, obviously I had bad days too, but like I was always like, why am I here? Because I love it, you know, exactly like what you're saying.
Literally,
So,
literally.
yeah.
You passionate about it, you love it. It's like you gotta love the process.
Yeah.
You know, looking back at it, I used to like listen. I all the time when Kayla comes here or when like somehow we get this chance to like talk and stuff, she always mention. She doesn't mention, oh, like here's my two medals. Here's
Yeah.
like my titles. She always mentions one thing that I really like love and I'm looking back at it is like her path, like her journey, the people
Mhm.
that were there and the people that make it good.
Mhm.
That's it. Like, oh, that's all why can you focus on, right? What did
Yeah.
you do? And like that's all the really things that you keep with you.
Because these are the memories you keep. Not, yeah, you can
Yes,
remember like holding the gold medal, but like, how'd you get the gold medal? You know, how did you,
yes,
and that
yes,
that's the
yes.
most important thing. So, well, Johan, really thank you for your time. It was really amazing to speak with you, and I wish you the best of luck in Europe. And yeah, perhaps I'll see you in Linz, I guess,
I will
since
see you. No,
you're gonna be
thank you for like inviting me and having me here.